Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Rush Roots. On this episode we have Tristan. So why don't you go ahead and kind of tell us who you are and where you're from?
All right, hi everybody. My name is Tristan Young. I am from Rush's hometown, Toronto, Canada, and I actually am also the drummer and main lyricist for my own band, Lucidae.
Awesome.
That is so cool. I have both of those. So, how did you hear about Rush? What got you into them? And what kept you around? Tell us about your Rush roots.
Sure. So I was first introduced to Rush when I was 5 years old. If you can picture me, 5 years old, going into kindergarten and getting into Rush. I was, albeit it wasn't a very serious kind of love for Rush at that point because I was still growing. But it was the first introduction I had to them from my dad as a second, third generation Rush fan. And I kept that in the back burner. It was definitely a very important part of my childhood, growing up, going through school. But I didn't get too serious about it until I was about maybe 9 or 10 years old, and that's when everything just made sense, and Rush was my world totally.
Cool. That's awesome.
You got hooked when you were young. That's
You
so
said-
great. That's
You
so
said
awesome.
5. You were 5 years old.
Yeah, my
You were-
dad wanted to make sure that I was getting into the right music. So,
And you were born
Hey.
when?
Great, man.
2002.
So you got into Rush the same year as me,
Oh, nice.
which was 2007. I was 14, but okay.
Nice.
All right. So why don't you tell us kind of when, where, and what your first Rush show was, if you've seen the band live?
Sure. So, funnily enough, I actually have never seen the band live, although I would have wanted to.
Okay.
A funny story, actually. I did get tickets with my whole family to see Rush. I was living in Calgary, out west, at the time. It was the spring of 2013, and I believe it was the Time Machine tour, and
That would have been Clockwork, but yeah.
or Clockwork. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had actually we got tickets to go see them in Calgary, but we had a massive flood, and the whole place flooded out.
Oh,
So they
no.
moved that same show. Yeah, they moved the same show up north in a smaller town, but we didn't want to make the drive. So I was this close to seeing them, but never did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
that's a shame, but I guess a follow-up question to that would be if, in your lifetime, any shows that Rush played, so I guess from 2002 onward, are there any of those shows that you would have wanted to see?
The Clockwork
Other
Angels.
than that one. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if not that one, then Time Machine,
Okay.
because that would have been the one that I would have really remembered, because you don't really remember stuff from when you're like 5 years old and prior. So
Yep.
Yeah.
the Time Machine tour, I would have been about 9, 10 years old. That would have been a good time for me to see my first Rush show. And just the energy that they had on it, the DVD, it's always great fun to watch.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed that.
Time Machine was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, it was. All right. So, what was your first favorite song and your first favorite album? And is that different from your favorite song and album today?
My first favorite song by Rush was "The Spirit of Radio," and at the time I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I had then gotten a new radio with a built-in CD player in my bedroom, and my dad came in with his own personal CD of hit Rush songs. It wasn't an official collection by any means, but he just took his favorite songs and burned them onto his own CD, and he put that on, and I'm sure he wanted to see what I would have thought of it, and I absolutely loved it. And I asked him if I could take that CD and play it for myself throughout the day whenever I wanted to, and he was fine. He was fine with it, and I messed around with it, and "The Spirit of Radio" was the song that just that was the song that kept playing. I don't think I even focused on any of the other tracks. That was just the one that I played.
So your first favorite album, what you're saying is your first favorite album was Dad's Rush Mix 1?
It
Okay.
could be. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, other songs like Free Will. So I guess Permanent Waves would have been my first favorite album.
Sure.
And then today, knowing a little bit more about music and, you know, being in my own band now, I know a lot more about music composition and all that. And I have so many influences. I don't know if it's my favorite, but one that I have a real appreciation for is Test for Echo, because of Neil's playing style reinvention.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of real jazz influence, and besides prog rock, jazz fusion is another huge genre that I'm into, and that record just sold me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that I know this is all about this is about your roots, but I'm gonna tell you that I really agree. And you know, after Neil did invent himself, after studying, I mean, I really can hear a change in his play, a difference in his feel. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome pick, man. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally underrated. All right, well, we'll wrap up with this final question. So where can people find you on social, or find you or your band on social media, so that, you know, if anyone thinks they might want to connect with you, they can reach out and perhaps become Rush friends?
Absolutely, yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Tristan Young _. And if you want, you guys can follow my band too. That's Lucidae. It's spelled LUCIDAE official. No underscores or dots or whatever. Just Lucidae official. And yeah, I'm always open. My DMs are always open. If you want to reach out, please by all means connect. I'm always here to chat.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for hopping on with us tonight.
Thank you.
Feel free to you know, shoot Tristan a DM and talk some Rush. So awesome. Thanks, man. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
All right.